Hey, it's Mason. As you can see, I'm in a little bit of a different setup. I just went through like so many technical difficulties. I should have done this yesterday because today's filming day and editing day really, because I'm supposed to have this video by tomorrow. But I did want better quality audio for my videos starting, well, now. But the mic I got is not working, so I don't know what's up with that. We're just gonna have to deal with crappy iPhone recording quality. Anyway, nice to see you again. So today would mark the first time I'm doing the 2 videos a week upload schedule, like you care, really, yeah. So today's video is going to be a new and different kind of video. I came up with this series where I recreate album covers. And since K-12 just came out, I figured what better timing. Now, a little disclaimer, and I'll put this disclaimer before any video of this kind that I do. This is not to discredit the album artwork. K-12 is beautiful and I love the artwork on that album, but this is just like an opportunity for me to practice my graphic designing skills, since that's what I will be going to school for. And I just think it'll be fun to just like try and recreate an album artwork to something that I felt throughout the album and try to incorporate that. I already have a mock-up for this album recreation. I did it last night, so that way I had something that I could look at today whenever I went and did the recreation. K-12, I'm going to explain what it is if you don't know what K-12 is. K-12 is the newest film and album by Melanie Martinez. Melanie Martinez, I believe, is the only The Voice contestant that didn't win but got a record label deal. I'm not sure if that's correct, but that's what I've heard. That could just be like a rumor, but she released her debut album Crybaby in 2015, and now 4 years later she's released this beautiful body of work, and it's basically about her concept Crybaby going through school, and it deals with a bunch of heavy topics such as teacher's pet. That's the one I can think of right now, about like sleeping with teachers. Orange Juice, I believe, deals with bulimia. Lunchbox Friends, wanting friends that will be there for you forever. The album cover currently for K-12, I'll show you a picture right here. It's her in front of a school building, and beside the pink school bus, it's her holding a lunchbox, I believe. I wanted to do something a bit more up close and personal. As you can see from my mock-up, I had the idea of doing the artwork as like notebook cover that said K-12 on it. I also had the idea of property of K-12, and then maybe this notebook belongs to Crybaby instead of Melanie Martinez. The spiral ring thing, yeah, that I have lots of notes on this mock-up, and I'm really excited to get into this. So once again, just the disclaimer, this is not to discredit the album artwork that's already on the album. It's beautiful, it's absolutely gorgeous, and this is just a new opportunity for me to practice my designing skills, and I just think it's an overall learning experience, and it's fun. So let's get into it. Now, the materials that I will be using for doing this, as you may wonder, I love to use Procreate on my iPad. I have an Apple Pencil for that, and then I use Canva. Very easy to use, and I may or may not use Photoshop here and there, but I usually go back and forth between Procreate, Canva, and Photoshop, just so that way how I need to, because I don't know Photoshop all the way, and I feel like it's a big, long, complicated process for me right now, but I know that I'm gonna have to learn Photoshop as I go along, because graphic designers rely on Photoshop and Illustrator. So let's get into it now. I'm excited. Okay, so I'm gonna take my mock-up. You know what? Actually, I might just like screen record everything and then do a voiceover. Let's do that. Hi. I always work in 4000 by 4000 pixels because that seems to be a really good overall file size. Here you see me looking at a wooden background, and I did wood because I wanted it to look like a desk. I don't know if it looked like that in the end result, but at least gave it some texture. Now I'm looking at notebook spirals, and I'm using this graphic here. I didn't really have the time to make one and highlight it and everything. Now I'm going to look for a composition notebook design, preferably a pink one. And of course, crop out the watermark because we're all broke designers here. So I end up using a white base layer because later on, whenever I go to use the pink, it will have a transparency to it, and if there's nothing under it, it will have the transparency of the wood, and you don't want that. And now I'm going in with that background we found earlier and making it transparent. I'm blurring it just a little bit so the design of the composition notebook isn't as noticeable, and now I'm finding the hearts that will go in the middle of the notebook for the logo. I imported my K-12 logo that I had made myself. I'm repositioning and adding text, specifically the property of K-12. I thought that would be a nice little spin off the film. If you've already seen it, that would make sense. And I did it in a cursive font that is very reminiscent of the album promo. Now I'm adding lace and I'm cropping it halfway because I only needed half of it, and I'm making it that white grayish color to fit in with the spiral. Now I'm copying the text and adding "this notebook belongs to." And now I'm exporting that out of Canva, and we're going into Procreate on my iPad. So I just imported it onto a new project, and I'm adding some texture here with a darker red color. I'm going in and roughing up the lace on these sides with a paintbrush. Now I'm going to add some highlights on the hearts of the logo in the middle. Here I am writing Crybaby out and doing it in a weird marker brush. Now I'm going over in a blue, and I believe I excluded it. I used some type of setting to make all the white exclude to the blue. It gave it this weird effect. Now I'm going in with actual white and adding highlights. So now I'm going into Afterlight, which is a photo editing program, and adding a bunch of dust and dirt and fades. I'm also adding light effects here to kind of give a faded look to the notebook as well. I also messed with the vignette feature to give it a more dark and enclosed look. Adding grain and adding a color overlay and messing with the levels of the overall picture. And here it is. Okie dokie, well, there is my interpretation of the K-12 album artwork. Here it is. It was a whole lot more simple and quick than I thought it was going to be. I definitely wanted to convey a dusty, musty, torn look on this notebook. Honestly, it came together really well. The K-12 logo, I made that myself. I did add some lace to the sides of the ring thing. That was a graphic I found. I really don't have the time to go through and make each ring, so it would have been cool if I did, but a lot of this was just made for graphics. Everything else I did either on my iPad or I found a graphic through Canva and I did it all there. But this just goes to show you don't need a lot to make a good looking graphic. To me, that looks pretty great for an album. Canva is free. If you have an iPad and Procreate, then you just doodle on it, you know? Yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this new series. Once again, getting videos out 2 times a week. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you later with a brand new video. Bye.